Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. QADASH. The blonde said, elders, those that remain. Citations to election, those that are being diligent and being entire in the work of the Lord. Shalom to all you warriors out there, the true house of David, the believers. And, there's a lot going on, and, this place is done. Everyone, this whole world's everyone just building carnally. They're just building things of the flesh and of the outside and of temples made by hands with brick and cement and all kind of different metals and stuff like that. And clothes and YouTube and social media, which you see happening. But, all that's for naught, and if you don't have YAHAWASHI, which is the word, which is the testimony, which is the spirit of prophecy, really saying what's going to happen before it even happens, and prophecies being fulfilled left and right. Just like that video brothers did that came out, that chick Dina. But even she realizes that the earth is opening up. There's all kinds of sinkholes everywhere, man. There was just a sinkhole today in New York. So it's very obvious what the Lord is saying. He's making it very clear and plain upon tables. But as these things are plain to the godly, they're stumbling blocks to the wicked. And, though our outward man perisheth, our inward man is renewed day by day. So everything that we go through, that we have to suffer, and the chastisement of the Lord that's upon us, our spirits getting strengthened to be able to get through these difficult times, because it's only going to get worse from here. Don't believe what man says to you. The Lord said, when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh. They got these protests heightening out throughout all the world. Lebanon, France, South Africa, just name a few that's off the top. Cuba. That's been most recent because of corruption on the top from the presidents, and also, they're trying to make mandatory the vaccines. Which over here, on my channels, I'm just gonna call it how it is. I'm not gonna trim my way to seek love, and I'm not gonna try to save my YouTube channel. What I'm saying? If this gets taken down, it gets taken down. This is only for those that have ears to hear. This is only for the few now. And all you wicked false prophets out there, this is the time of your demise as well. That's why you have always seen sinkholes open up carnally, but see, spiritually it's already opened up. And you guys, wicked elders and camp heads out there, like the guy from Carolina and then the guy from Dallas, you can't hide anymore. And see, the Lord spoke in parables, but there came a time where YAHAWASHI and the men of the Lord, they just said it plain. They pointed out who was the wolf, and that's exactly what we're doing to you guys now too. That's what YAHAWASHI is doing, you see. And when you go to Timothy, there was also other men that Paul had to point out that they was wicked, that they fell away from the Lord. They betrayed. They went back into the world, you see, became a twofold child of hell, went back to the vomit, you see. And this is 2 Timothy 4:14. Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. The Lord reward him according to his works. Of whom be thou aware also, for he hath greatly withstood our words. And we're not just speaking our own words, we're speaking the words of the Lord. And just because you have the title of great on your camp, doesn't mean you right in the spirit, man, or you're of the Lord. Doesn't mean you're part of the elect. It says, at my first answer no man stood with me, but all men forsook me. See, that's what's gonna happen to you if you're really of the Lord. You're gonna be forsaken of men. You're gonna be isolated. You're gonna be humiliated, man. People are gonna betray you. Brothers gonna leave you. For all kinds of different excuses and reasons, man. Because guess what? Not everyone's really fit for the battle, man. Not everyone's a man of the Lord. Lord said one of a city and two of a family. That's it. So with all these big, major, huge camps, right? Oh, you got to pick which one of the favorite camps to get to pick. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this, brothers, man. You few out there, you real out there, man. The real left. Don't pick neither, man. Don't pick the tree of good, neither tree of evil. Don't pick left or right. Like that lamb that had two horns but spake as a dragon. That's what a lot of you guys are too. Just like Esau, your daddy. You see? Says, I pray God that it may not be laid to their charge. Notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me and strengthened me, that by me the preaching might be fully known, and that all the Gentiles might hear, and I was delivered out of the mouth of a lion. And let's see, we're in the time of our deliverance out of the mouth of these scar faces. You know, scar faces. He was related to Mufasa, you know, but he betrayed his own brother for power, for clout. You see? But now, like Simba, we've regained who we are. We regained our strength, and now we're returning. Repenting and coming back to the Lord and making our claim on the throne of the house of David. Who really has this truth? Who really has the Lord with them? See, and we don't have a title of our name camp, man. We're just a church of the Lord. We're just a true servants of the Lord. You know, the two witnesses, the mountain of truth, the warriors of truth, Gabarim and Mav. That's who we are, man. You see, we don't exalt our name or our title or our channel. We exalt the Lord. That's what we do. And that's why the Lord is lifting us up. 2 Ezra 7:45. Then shall no man be able to save him. You see, no man, no carnal man is going to be able to save you. It says, then shall no, it's like 2 Ezra 7 and verse 45. It says, then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed. And a lot of guys of our nation, even in this truth, that claim to be Israelites, claim to be men of the Lord, they're destroyed for lack of knowledge. They're found lacking, man. You see, they don't have the full understanding of the Lord. See, and like what these guys are doing, right? Like the West Coast, the lukewarm camps out there, they're trying to play on your emotions. Oh, why is everyone disrespecting the elders? Well, what's happening is they're destroyed for lack of knowledge, and they're only giving you one side of the elders. The one that says in Hebrews, give double honors to elders. All the sweet things of the elders. But they disregard the bitter side of the elders that are wicked amongst this truth. That are in high seats. The book of Susanna, Matthew 23, Matthew 27, man. Guys will never bring that out, man. They won't come to the light lest the deeds be reproved. You see? And not the light and the fame of this world, man. Guys got it all twisted and messed up and backwards, man. It says, then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory. You see? And that's what we are attaining, man, through staying strong and staying fervent. And not be afraid of man's faces. See, and that word oppress means to persecute. So you can't persecute those that have gotten the victory. It doesn't matter. See, you ain't going to get the victory because you're in a big camp and you're paying tithes. You're not going to get the victory because of that. And you pleasing men. See, if you please man, you're not a servant of YAHAWASHI, man. A lot of guys are men pleasers, man, stroking other men's egos. YAHAWASHI was never doing that, man. He was saying his face hard like a flint. And Lord says, Sirach, let the reverence of no man cause you to fall. And you guys, you're reverencing all these different elders and men and camp heads, and a lot of you guys are falling with this fucking Babylon, man. Revelation 18 and verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles, not the unholy apostles, not the false apostles. Those that weren't truly sent, that wasn't sent of the Lord, yet they run. It says, yea, holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone, like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. You see, so what's happening is, Lord, he's taking this great, marvelous kingdom, and he's casting it to the ground. He's taking the mighty angels, YAHAWASHI, which is the spirit of prophecy, the testimony, and the men that have YAHAWASHI. We're mighty in him. You see, he's taking up this stone like a great millstone, and he's casting it into the sea. All those that are offended at the Lord, he's casting them into the sea. And the Lord said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, remove hence, and it shall obey you, man. That's what we're doing. Like that quote, let the boy die and let the man live. You see? Let the camp die. Let the temples made with hands, the church all die, and let the elect rise out of the fire and the division and the persecutions and all the chaos that's happening in the world right now, and also in this truth. Verse 22, and the voice of harpers and musicians, of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman, and whatsoever craft he be shall be found no more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. And that's what a lot of guys are doing, even in great millstone. Great men are not always wise. You see? And the knowledge of wickedness is no wisdom at all. And a lot of guys are wizards, man. High-level wizards. Matthew 11 and 12. And from the day, let me start verse 11, because, see, let me start verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of woman, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. So the least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than John the Baptist. So the Lord's telling you that you're supposed to take the lowly, man. But he said there was none that rose that was greater than John the Baptist. Now, John the Baptist, he was in the forest. He was eating locusts. He was eating honey. He was a wild man. He was in the wilderness sleeping. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't with society. And the Pharisees and scribes, right? They weren't buddy with him, man. They wasn't with him. They wasn't in the same camp with him. You see? He was ostracized. And that's what the men of the Lord is going to be looked at, man, as crazy, as nobodies, as loners, as irrelevant. But we're really relevant to the Spirit and to the Lord. Verse 12, the point, it says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. You see? So the violent men, right, the wicked men, the murderers, they take it by force. They, you know what I'm saying? And say, oh yeah, we're the prophets. We have the truth. We have the 100% truth. And same thing's happening now, brothers. So let me read that again so you can really understand. In Revelation 18 and 21, it says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea. So we're casting this world, right, and men that has come against us into the sea by our faith. We're moving mountains. And a mountain is what? Is a government which controls minds. So a lot of guys, they have a wicked mind control over the people. You see? Saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So you have to understand, the false prophets, they're hand in hand with Esau. They're part of Babylon. They're part of the fucking confusion, man. They're fused together with Esau and Babylon in this world. Great city Babylon. And this place was built up by violence and the bloodshed of the righteous, and bloodshed, and it's going to go down by that. But see, the Lord's going to require the blood of the murderers now, man. Their blood's going to be required. You see? Second Ezra 16:11. The Lord shall threaten, right? And see, we're threatening through the Spirit. The Lord, he's using us to speak, and we're threatening the wicked. You see? And that's why the Pharisees and scribes and the chief priests and elders, they perceived that he spoke to them and of them, which he was. Because the shoe fit them. They was in that high seat. They was in that way of wickedness, man. That broad gate that led to destruction. That was leading the blind to many too. Same thing happening right now. That which hath been is what shall be done. There's nothing new under the sun. So in a very heavy time of prophecy, man. And guys trying to act like, oh yeah, we have to end it. No, this is gigantic, man. And if you're in the Spirit, you understand how heavy this is, man. How important this is, and how key this is, man. Because if you don't get this, if you don't receive this, then you ain't getting into the kingdom, man. This is the key, YAHAWASHI. Being hated of all men, being cast out of synagogues. It says, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. And that's what we're doing. Luke 20:17, and he beheld them. So they're being beaten to powder at our presence, brethren. And that's why they're not coming towards us or at us straight. They can't come direct to us. Like a serpent, when a serpent's coming to you, he has to slither and be quiet, right? Be subtle. And they don't come straight. They have to come in a diagonal. Like the slithering. That's how guys is coming towards us, man. We calling you guys out even before you try to make your last attempt on us, man. And this last attempt might be your last, man. Me personally over here, I'm praying for a few days. And Lord's hearing the prayer of the poor. And it's piercing the crowds, man. And the judgment's going to come speedily. Luke 20:16, he shall come and destroy these husbandmen, and shall give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, God forbid. You see, so when they hear the parable of the Lord, they say, oh, God forbid, don't do that. They don't want the word of the Lord to happen. But guess what? It's happening, man. Move that again. And when they heard it, they said, God forbid. So whatever the Lord's saying, they're saying, no, God forbid it. Don't, Most High, don't allow what he's saying to happen. You see? They're totally against the spirit of the Lord and righteousness, man. It says, and he beheld them and said, what is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner. You see? That primary thing. The top, YAHAWASHI has become the head of every man. You see? And if you don't have the thoughts of YAHAWASHI, if you don't follow his order, he has the authority to what? Cut you off, man. To sever you from the body. So that your cancer, your disease doesn't spread to the other brothers. Luke 20:18. Whosoever. See, Lord doesn't no respect to person. Like, whosoever, you don't care who it is. Everybody's name and their mama is getting pulled right now, man. When time of judgment. You see? Whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken. But on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. See, so we're grinding the wicked to powder. We're threatening the wicked. The Lord's using our mouth to come in a severe, hurtful, right, life or death spirit, man. And the chief priests and the scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. You see, and Lord, he's against a lot of you men in Great Millstone and all the other corrupted camps, man, that are just not in the straight gate. That are not, YAHAWASHI is not there. You know, when you knock on a door and just no one's answering, no one's home, it's vacant. You see, there's all dust there, and just no one's been living there for so long. That's how a lot of you guys are, man. YAHAWASHI has been left from you, man. He's been departed from you. Luke 17 and verse 1. Then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible that offenses will come, but woe unto him though whom they come. So these things must happen. You're gonna have guys in the truth that get offended at the Lord, that offenses, you know what I'm saying? They're not defending the gospel, but trying to shoot their shot over the Lord and try to, you know what I'm saying, win over the Lord. You see? It says, it were better for him that a millstone were hanging about his neck and he cast into the sea than he should offend one of these little ones. So that's what's happening. They're being cast back into this world. These catfish, these bad fish, they're being cast back into the sea. The sea is symbolic of the people, nations, and tongues, man. Job 41 and verse 23, and this is going into the Leviathan, the carnal Leviathan. This is symbolic of the dragons in the sea, the dragons and serpents in the world. Job 41 and 23, the flakes of his flesh are joined together, right? Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. They are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved, right? So they're not gonna be moved by a spirit to repent and get right. They're too set in their ways to be a damn dragon, man, and a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's why it's only woe to these guys at this point. See, we're not in a time of, oh, it's okay, yeah, mercy, mercy, love, love, love. That time has past. Now we're in a time of woe and destruction to the 2/3 of our people, and the Lord's going to only have mercy upon whom He'll have mercy upon, which is the elect. Which is not man's elect, but God's elect. Understand that. It says, his heart is as firm as a stone, yet as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. Now check this out. Sirach 17 and 12. This is going into our people, right? It says he made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgments. Now, the 66.6% of our people, they broke the covenant. They broke the marriage. And the law of the adulterer and the adulterer shall be put to death. You see? It says, and showed them his judgments. And now they're trying to turn their eye away from the judgment. That's why guys ain't speaking the judgment of the Lord that's upon our people. And that's where it's beginning at right now. It says, their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice. And he said unto them, let me get a drink of water. You know, and I was meditating this on all day. You know, and I ate something like some salad, man. I just felt like shit. But see, this is the bitter side of the truth, man. You know, stomach pains and whatever your thorn is. See, but we're not going to lose our sweet words of YAHAWASHI. Sirach 17:14. And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. Just like to beware of the wolves in sheep's clothing, beware of false prophets. Beware of men. Beware of those that hold the truth in unrighteousness. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor. 15 the point. Sorry, 16 the point. It says, their ways are ever before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. It says, every man from his youth is given to evil. Neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts for stony. And that fleshly heart, the heart of flesh is YAHAWASHI. Having the mind of YAHAWASHI. Having the body of the Lord. Bearing his cross. You know what I'm saying? By his wounds we are healed, you see? Eating of the flesh. You see? So no man could give themselves a heart of flesh, a heart of YAHAWASHI, a heart after the Most High's heart. You see? A stony heart. Job 41 and verse 24. It says, his heart is as firm as a stone, yet as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. And that's what a lot of our people have. They have they're set in their ways, man. They're stiff-necked. You know, they're hard-hearted. You know? And see, guys, they want to make it like, oh yeah, when we get the new heart and we have the perfect bodies. Man, you ain't even striving to be perfect right now, man. You know? And that covenant's already being fulfilled right now as well. It's just happening in increments. It's rising. It's growing. Every day it's getting more powerful and potent. That new covenant. You know, it's like every you see a charger and it just keeps on going to like 87%, 88%. That's why the Lord said until 100%. That's why the Lord said in Proverbs, the righteous is like a shining light that shines brighter and brighter until the perfect day. That perfect day is when we shall be ultimately changed into his glory. We shall be gathered in the clouds, and shall we be with him forever. We shall be like his likeness, you see. But there has to be a build up to that. It's not just you wake up one day eating fucking Doritos. Yeah. Oh, yep. I'm gonna get my new heart now. Like that's like how Esau in this world acts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Carnally. You know? Deuteronomy 24 and verse 6. And no man shall take the nether or the upper millstone to pledge. For he taketh the man's life to pledge. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him. And that's what they did, man. They turned the Lord's temple into a den of thieves and robbers, man. It says, and they made merchandise of YAHAWASHI and of his word, man. It says, or selleth him, then that thief shall die, and thou shalt put evil away from among you. So that's what we're doing. We're putting the evil away from amongst the Lord, from amongst this truth. You see, which is not, it's not a light thing. It's not an easy thing. See, that's why you have all these guys playing on guys' emotions. Oh, why is everyone disrespecting the elders? No, it's going into, you shall have no respect to person in judgment, man. That's why the Lord had to raise up a young youth named Daniel in the book of Susanna against some wicked two elders, man, that were trying to murder innocent Susanna, man. You see? That's what we're up against. We're up against a lot of evil and a lot of guys that want us to stop what we're doing, but we're not gonna stop. See, that's why your mouth is stopped, and pretty soon your heart's gonna stop. Your breath's gonna stop, man. See, Lord shall threaten. Now the Lord said they made a den of thieves, right? And I got that word for den, right? It's a wild animal's lair. So guys are fucking brute beasts, man. So now check this out. It says, a transfer to den-like places in human habitations in Middle English. Quote, secret lurking place of thieves, place of retreat, private chamber. So that's what guys have made this truth. They made this public business, which the work of the Lord is a public thing. It's out in the open for everyone to see, good and bad. But what guys have done, they made it a den of thieves, in that they made it private. Oh, it's only for us. Oh yeah, only us. Only we have the truth. We're the only camp. See, you guys are fucking wicked, man. You see? And we're pulling everyone's chair behind them, man. You guys are sitting in Moses' seat. That's not your seat to begin with, man. You're not executing righteous judgment, man. You're perverting it, man. You're perverted as hell. Psalms 141 and verse 6 says, when their judges are overthrown in stony places, they shall hear my words, for they are sweet. You see? But so as these, see the thing is with the wicked, they take what's good and they say it's evil. They say what's evil and they say it's good. So you guys say, they shall hear my words. You're going to hear what we have to say. And you're going to know why you're being destroyed. And why, because all you guys are going to get a strange, terrifying death, man. You see? Like in number 16, for they are sweet. So they call sweet bitter. They put bitter for sweet. You see? Woe to you guys, man. Whoa, man. Isaiah 14 and verse 12. And see, like Paul said, we are not like them that beat at the air. We're actually hitting points and going to precepts and breaking them down and bringing them to bringing them to light, man. You see, to the real understanding of it all, tying it all in with full circle. Isaiah 14 and verse 10 says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? You see? So the weak is saying they're strong, and strong is saying they're weak, you see? So that's what's happening. The Lord's really turned this thing upside down. The house Saul weaker and weaker, house David was stronger and stronger. And that's what's happening, man. It says verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and thy noise of thy vials. And that's what the Lord said. He said, take the noise of their vials, he will not hear it. A lot of guys just singing not the new song of the Lord, but just your own song. Your fucking remixes and mixtapes. When someone comes, and a Jay comes, oh, listen to my mixtape, and it's just fucking trash. That's what a lot of guys are like, man. It says, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So now let's get to the point. Verse 12 says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Right, a lot of guys, you're not a disciple of Yahawashi. You're a disciple of Lucifer, man. Your own light, man. You wax fat, you shine, you see? It says, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which does weaken the nations? You see? So the wicked are being cut down, man, by the battle axe of the Lord, which is his men. Verse 14, I will be like the Most High. So they want to be like God, but they're not. You see? Imperfect branches, man, that are going to be cut off, that are being cut off right now. Matthew 7 and 25. 26, it says, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man. So guys, they're hearing these sayings of Yahawashi, man, and they're not doing them, man. So what are they likened unto? A foolish man. Foolish men, foolish camps, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended and the floods came. That's what's happening right now, man. Not just carnally, like there's all kind of crazy weather going on, but spiritually. You see? The winds are blowing. These winds of different doctrine, different teachings of devils. It says, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. You see? Great. See? Great. If you offend one of the Lord's little ones, a millstone hang upon your neck. You see how it all correlates? And matter of fact, let me keep reading here. It says, and it came to pass when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. See, and the same thing goes for us, because we're of Yahushua. And matter of fact, let me get this precept, because the true men of the Lord, they're not really gonna have a name in the street. Like you'll have, when he was in the world, right? He'd be like, oh yeah, his name is Pop in the street. Everyone knows him in the street. Meaning he was popular, he was famous. But see, with the elect, like, yeah, they could be known, but no one's gonna want to really talk about them or acknowledge them, because they're like afraid of the men of the Lord. You see, they fear the men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah 59:14, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice stands afar off. You see, the Justice League, the true elect, we're afar off. It says, for truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. You see? Yeah, truth faileth, and he that depart from evil maketh himself a prey, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So that's what's happening, man. There's no righteous judgment, But the Lord, he's about to bring it swiftly, man. And it's starting with us, and we're speaking it into existence. We're really speaking it into existence, man. And it's really heavy how this is all playing out, man. It's really heavy, bro. See, before our eyes, it's marvelous in our eyes. But see, in the other guys' eyes, they're scared, they're afraid. The sinners in Zion. Mark 9:42. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones. Matter of fact, let me start verse 41, because see, a lot of guys, just like, remember, see, when Yahushua, right, he'd sup with a Pharisee, and certain times he'd and he would enter into their house, and then there'd be this whore that would anoint his feet and cry on his feet and give him water. You know what I'm saying? But then he would look to the Pharisees and scribes and chief priests and elders. He'd be like, man, since I came in here, you didn't give me a kiss, you didn't salute me, you didn't bless me, you didn't even give me a cup of goddamn water. And a lot of you guys are just fulfilling that too. I remember, man, I was around guys, man. And you know how they say it takes one to know one. See, we was in camps at a certain time. We were in certain camps. We tried, man. We've been around guys, man. Guys don't even fucking bless us right. They won't even fucking what's the word? When brothers are salute, they won't even salute us right. Come around, brothers, and be like, what the fuck is that, bro? See, guys don't really mean it, man. That's why they're mumbling and shit, babbling and shit. They really hate the Lord, man. They hate his men. And it's all coming out in the end. You can't fake it anymore, man. You can't say this ain't the truth. Yeah, so this is Mark 9:41. For whoso shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because they belong to Yahushua. See, we belong to Yahushua. And you'll have certain random ass people on the street, they'll give us a cup of water, literally, and we don't even know who they are. But they'll give us a water, out of kindness, and just basically acknowledging the Lord's might and power upon us. So it says, because they belong to Yahushua, verily I say unto you, he shall not lose his reward. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone will hang about his neck, he would cast to the sea. And that's what we're doing through our faith. That's what we're doing through our faith. And that's why guys don't teach faith, because they don't want that to happen. That's why they omit the faith. They omit the judgment. They omit love. Matthew 17:20. And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if you have faith as grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out by prayer and fasting. So our weaponry is not of having men around us and having subscribers and likes and trying to run after social media fame and shit, like Cora out there in Carolina, and Dathan out there in Dallas, the head of Dallas, and Abraham, All these guys are in all these major camps. You got fucking the head guy from Sakari, whatever, saying that the book of Hebrews isn't a part of the Bible. I mean, Hebrews 4:12, the word of God is quick. See, because they're not quickened. They're dead. They're slow bellies, man. Sirach 22:1. A slothful man is compared to a filthy stone. So that's what those guys are compared to. Slothful man are compared to the filthy stones. Black stones. And when you would get a black stone in the ancient court, it would mean what? You're guilty. You're going to be thrown in jail, but to death. But a white stone would mean what? You would be innocent. You'd be dropped the charges. You would be delivered from death in prison. It says, and that's going to happen to the elect. It says, and everyone will hiss him out to his disgrace. So that's what's happening. They're being hissed out to their disgrace because they put Yahawashi to an open shame. That's what you guys have fucking done. Filth of a dunghill, that's what you are. Piece of shit, man. Worthless. Revelation 22:11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. So go ahead. It says, and he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. Keep me unclean. It's not what goes. It's not what, your outside that makes you unclean. It's what comes out of your mouth that makes you unclean. You see? It says, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And Isaiah made it plain when he said that. Isaiah 16:5. And I said, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Verse 6. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongues from off the altar. Right, which there's an altar in the heavens, and it parallel and it mirrors the altar on earth, which says elect. It says, and he laid it upon my mouth and said, lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thy iniquity is taken away, and thy sin is purged. So our sin has been taken away. It's been purged, and we speak the things that to edification and godliness. To open up the eyes of the blind and make them see what's really going on right now, man. A lot of evil, and only in the end is come. So it's 2 Corinthians 12:14. And I'm going to get out of here. I got to get going. It's getting late. It says, behold, the third time I am ready to come to you, and I will not be burdensome to you, for I seek not yours, but you. Right, so we're not seeking what you have, or how much money, possession, or how much subscribers you have. See, we seek you, the elect. It says, for the children ought not to lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children. So, like the Lord said in John, I have written unto you fathers, I have written unto you young men, because great is the truth in you than is in the world. So, we stay up for the children, We lose sleep, and we watch over the flock. For those that are young in the faith, you see. It says, for the children are not to lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children, you see. And that's why we're up right now. See, because our time of departure is at hand, brothers. Just like YAHAWASHI, he didn't sleep for like a whole night. 2 Corinthians 12:15. Now, I will very gladly spend and be spent for you. See, give our all for this truth. To this word can have its free course. Because guys, they're trying to fucking bind it up and trying to take the breath away from it, and the validation, the power away from it, and the force of it. It says, though the more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. So the more you love, the less you're going to be loved. They have that saying, like, if you love someone so much, guess what? You're going to be loved less. They're not going to appreciate you as much. But see, they're only going to love you and appreciate you until you're gone. Once you're done, and by then it's too late. Just like YAHAWASHI, when he was around, no one cared about him. They hid his face from him. But then all of a sudden he's gone. Everyone's like, yeah, I know Messiah. Yeah, YAHAWASHI, Jesus, whatever. But a lot of people, they're all talk, man. They're not really about it like that. That's obvious. So Lord, when you're edified, all praises, glory, honor, fit. YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH, QADASH. Destruct and demise all you anti-YAHAWASHIs, man. Elders, old, young, newborn babes. If you are against YAHAWASHI and the Spirit of the Lord, you're going to be annihilated, man. You're going to be taken away from this world and from the kingdom of heaven, out of the book of life, you see. Shalom to the beloved elect.